3, the record. 1-5 for the Astros. Matsui in the box. Duke's pitch, and we are underway at PNC Park for 2009.
Well, you can feel the electricity here. These fans are fired up, happy to be here, wanting to see a Bucco win today.
2 balls and no strikes to Matsui. Matsui's hit in 6 straight games to open the season. And he takes a strike. Well, the way the rotation went, Zach Duke got the lottery win, getting to open up at home. Strike 2 call by home plate umpire Mike Winters. James Hoy is the umpire at first. Randy Marsh, the crew chief, at second. Brian Hunter is at third. 2-2 pitch to Matsui. It's foul.
Big curveball from Zach Duke got Matsui out in front just a bit. Pretty good location. It started in the zone, broke down and out of the zone.
And the chance of let's go Bucks have started early. Matsui on the ground to Sanchez. 1 away. Time to check out Rock's keys to the game, brought to you by A&L Motors. What are those keys, John?
We'll see him here in a moment. The keys, another quality start. That's what you want from Zach Duke. The Pirates pitcher's first 6 games, 5 of the 6 have been of the quality sort. And Zach, I know, wants to continue that trend. And let's kick the Astros while they're down. They've been struggling. They've lost 4 in a row, just 1-5 through their first 6, struggling offensively.
Miguel Tejada takes low.
In particular, struggling in the middle of their order. A shake-up a little bit today by manager Cecil Cooper, moving Tejada up to the 2 spot. The middle of the lineup is typically Berkman, Lance Berkman, Carlos Lee, and Miguel Tejada, and the 3 of them combined have hit just .215 through the first 6 games, just a couple of home runs and 3 RBIs.
2-0 pitches outside, and Tejada way ahead of Duke here in his first at bat of the game. 3 balls, no strikes. And Miguel Tejada certainly had the cameras following him wherever he went in the offseason. Takes a strike, 3-1.
Yeah, had to deal with the whole steroid issue and the perjury charges.
The 3-1 is in the air to center. McLouth going back. McLouth to the wall and can't get it. Good effort by Nate McLouth. Niger Morgan comes up with it on a stand-up double for Miguel Tejada. McLouth crashed into the wall.
And he went into the wall very awkwardly, and so we hope that Nate's going to be okay. 3-1 fastball. Tejada gets good wood to it. Straight away. Normally the ball hits Nate's glove. It's an out. There you see it hits the heel of his glove, and Nate, it's one of the things as an outfielder, when you're breaking down like that, the ball starts jumping on you a little bit, and I think it's almost like it's vibrating, and so you don't get a good view of it. He got off the balls of his feet. And probably why it went off the heel.
This is what it sounds like if you're in the outfield next to McLouth. So John Russell, the manager and athletic trainer, Brian Henderson, is out there checking the well-being of Nate McLouth.
Hopefully it's just he got the wind knocked out of him. I know Brad talking with him here and holding his neck. So maybe went face first into that wall. Not sure, but they're checking all upper body parts there, and I mean, that would be a huge loss for the Pirates if something severe had happened to Nate. Hopefully, like I said, it's just that he got the wind knocked out of him.
Just hit the heel of his glove, and that's tough when the ball begins to tail late on you like that as an outfielder going back.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a wind blowing in from left, and that's probably why the ball tailed towards right field. That's why Nate kind of took that little bit of a turn there at the end. And again, if you're running in full stride and you're on the balls of your feet, you see the ball clearly. But sometimes when you're breaking down, especially if you're trying to change directions late, literally the ball starts looking like a knuckleball to you because you get on your heels a little bit. And I guarantee you, if Nate's on the balls of his feet, he makes that catch, although still probably going to take the brunt of that wall. Thank goodness all the walls nowadays are padded, or could have been a lot worse. That is, with the exception of Wrigley Field, and Ivy's not much.
That's natural padding.
Yeah.
Mother Nature's padding, the Ivy. Well, they're taking their time, and Nate McLouth ready in center field, and Lance Berkman is ready at the plate. A one-out double for Miguel Tejada. He is at second. And Duke out of the stretch, checks back there. Now comes home to Berkman. Outside for a ball.
Early on in this ball game, for Zach Duke, unable to really get that four-seamer inside. I know he's only thrown so many pitches, but I think that's what made him effective against the Cardinals.
The 1-0. Just outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And for the pitchers, they've got to test out early in the season whenever they get a new crew, and this is the 3rd series of the year. They've got to find out what's going to be a strike on the corner and what isn't.
Sure. And right now, I think Zach, I'm sure he's battling some nerves with the opening day start.
Strike call to Berkman. 2-1.
And there he got inside accidentally, perhaps, as looked like Ryan Doumit was set up away.
Zach Duke, 25 years of age, from Clifton, Texas. Berkman swings and misses, strike 2.
Now there's the good four-seamer again from Zach. And I mean, it's only showing up at 87 miles per hour, but you see the late swings. It's just a sneaky, quick four-seamer when he gets it in there to the righties.
Joe Kerrigan, pitching coach. Tireless hours of work with these pitchers. And Berkman strikes out.
Yeah, that's what the four-seamer does. It opens up the outer half of the plate for you. Berkman late on the fastball in. So Zach Duke takes a little off away, and you get Berkman way out in front. There you see it. That's the changeup grip. Real loose in the hand. That changeup, you don't want to grip too tight. You want to just keep it loose, and then you throw the ball just like you would a fastball, and it just looks like a fastball because of the arm action, but the ball just doesn't get there.
Carlos Lee fouls the first pitch away. Doumit got part of it. Nate McLouth seems to be okay after crashing into the wall on Miguel Tejada's double.
Oh, just missed. I hope that didn't get his thumb. That was really close to his right thumb. He's very unorthodox as far as where he puts his, and he's looking at it. Looks like it got a piece of that right thumb, and for whatever reason, a lot of catchers, some put it behind their back. A lot of them relax that bare hand in between their legs. But on that pitch, Ryan Doumit had his hand exposed.
Carlos Lee, slow ground ball to Sanchez. And that'll do it for the Astros. In the top of the first, they get a hit and leave a man. And when we come back, the Pirates will come to bat at PNC Park. out of tough catcher Ryan Doumit. Nate McLouth seems to be all right as well. Doumit took a foul ball off the thumb. Take a look at managers John Russell's starting lineup. Brought to you by PNC. Morgan leading off. He's been a spark plug at the top of the order. Freddie Sanchez, he hits well against today's Houston starter Brian Moeller. Adam LaRoche, Brandon Moss, Ramon Vasquez, the left-hander, in against the right-hander Moeller today. Jack Wilson hitting in that 8th spot, and Zach Duke 1 for 2 against the Cardinals on Wednesday. .500 average. So Moeller on top of the hill, getting ready to pitch to Nyjer Morgan. And he has been electric out there when he gets on base. He's done some things in terms of base running, breaking up double plays, running over catchers, stealing bases. He can be a big weapon at the top of the order for the Bucks.
Yes, he can, and you just hope that he can keep getting on base, because if he keeps getting on base, he's going to put pressure on the other team.
Moeller gets his first strike of the ball game. For Moeller, a 37-year-old, 6'3", 235. He's played for the Tigers, the Reds, Houston twice, with a stint in Florida sandwiched in between. 2-1 to Morgan.
You're not going to see anything spectacular from Brian Moeller, just a veteran, a crafty veteran that he'll throw breaking balls behind in the count, and he'll have to locate his fastball, and he doesn't throw much harder than the mid-80s. You see that fastball clocked at 85, and then the Pirates have been successful against Moeller. Last year, Moeller did win 2 games, but his ERA was .939 against the Bucks over his career. 5-5, .584.
And a full count now to Nyjer Morgan.
His last 4 games against the Bucks, he's allowed 17 runs in 15 1/3 innings.
3-2 pitch, and Morgan lifts this one in the air to shallow left. Carlos Lee makes the catch, and there's one down. Brian Moeller has gone an inning and 2/3 against the Chicago Cubs. That was on the 8th of April. His first outing. Gave up 7 earned runs on 8 hits in less than 2 innings of work. The Cubs pounded him in an 11-6 Chicago win. Freddie Sanchez. Set a breaking ball outside. Sanchez had a great series against St. Louis, and then against Cincinnati slowed a bit, went 1 for 9. And again, the breaking ball is outside. 2-0 to Sanchez.
Not much of a breaking ball, just a short little slider, perhaps a cutter. Good eye by Freddie.
And Sanchez swings, drives it to the gap in right center field. This ball is going back, and this ball's off the top of the wall. Sanchez will walk into second base with a 1-out stand-up double. 4th double of the season for Freddie Sanchez.
And he's going good. He's hitting the ball to right center field, and Freddie's showing some thump right here. I've never known Freddie to go opposite field, but you see it there, just about a foot from hitting that ball into the stands in right center field over the trip sign. Saw a little fan interference out there, so Freddie
number 13
shuts her down at second.
Nate McLouth.
Here comes the Gold Glove center fielder Nate McLouth. 2 home runs on the year, 5 runs batted in. He has 3 base hits on the season, 2 of them home runs.
And he's got a great big trophy. That Gold Glove, you almost might need to buy a bigger house to find somewhere to put that thing. I know my mantle wouldn't fit it.
Build a bigger mantle. And McLouth swings, hits this one to deep center. Going back is Michaels. He'll get under it. Circling, making the catch, and tagging is Sanchez. Freddie heading to third, and he'll be in easily. So McLouth moves Sanchez over for Ryan Doumit. Brian Moeller pitching. How about the rest of the lineup in the field. Lee, Michaels, Pence, that's the outfield. Keppinger at third, Tejada at short, Matsui at second, Berkman at first, and Humberto Quintero starting today as Cecil Cooper puts a few of the backups in. Quintero catching in favor of Ivan Rodriguez. And Michaels in there in favor of Michael Bourne. Bourne might be the fastest man in all of baseball. I'd like to see a 100-yard dash between Bourne and Willie Taveras of Cincinnati. Who'd win?
Yeah, that'd be close. It'd be interesting to see. I'd give the edge to Bourne. Let me go look at the Florida third baseman, Bonifacio. You think he might beat them both?
He can run too. Doma takes inside. Quintero blocks it. Pirates threatening here in the bottom of the first inning. Sanchez, a one-out double, moved over to third base on a deep fly ball to center by Nate McLeod.
Risky, I thought, a little bit by Freddie, tagging up on Jason Michaels out there in center field. But of course, Freddie knows Jason. Michaels was with the Bucks a year ago.
Doma hit his first career grand slam on Saturday in Cincinnati in the 9th inning. That Buccaneer victory. Said his only other career grand slam was an A-ball. So his second professional grand slam. And Saturday's meant a lot more. 2-1 pitch. And Doma hits this one to the right side. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh. RBI single for Ryan Doma, his 7th run batted in. And the Bucks are on the board first.
That away. Domi, that's a big hit right there. He had a lot of big hits a year ago, hitting over 400 with runners in scoring position. Got a curveball, stayed back, and hard base hit. And Freddie turns out to be a good play, tagging up going to third. That would have been a hard ball to score on if he were at second base.
The Buccos are on the board with Safe Autos, safe at home, first run. Adam LaRoche takes high.
A year ago, Doman over 400 with runners in scoring position. Currently, exactly 400, 4 for 10 on the year.
Ball 2. Adam LaRoche on Saturday hit his first home run of the season, following up the grand slam by Doman in the top of the 9th inning. Bucks went back-to-back off of former Buck and Cincinnati pitcher Mike Lincoln. And this time he goes to left field down the line. Carlos Lee giving chase. That'll make the seats.
And by the way, Carlos Lee in left field does not run very well. And there is an awful lot of room at PNC Park in left field. He kind of lumbered over there and was anywhere close to the ball, but he's not going to outrace any baseballs headed towards the gap or down the line. And Michaels too, average runner at best, probably a touch below average in center.
2-1 pitch, and LaRoche takes inside, 3 balls and a strike.
And their fastest base runner as far as the outfield goes is out in the right, Hunter Pence, but he's no Nyjer Morgan either.
Nyjer runs well. We have seen it both in St. Louis and in Cincinnati this year. 3-1. And that is low, ball 4, and 2 men are aboard for Brandon Moss. As LaRoche walks down to first base, Doman over to second. And Moss, who had 1 of 3 hits against Cincinnati's Aaron Harang yesterday, has been seeing the ball rather well. We mentioned Harang because he pitched the gem, a complete game shutout against the Pirates, and there are several innings where he was practically unhittable.
Well, yeah, he was pretty impressive, and we kept talking about the velocity, which I'm sure was not correct. I'm sure the readings were not correct at Great American Ballpark, but Harang with the movement and location and a little help perhaps from home plate umpire was very, very difficult to make solid contact against.
First and second, and 2 men out for Brandon Moss as Brian Moeller digs in on top of the hill for Houston.
Brandon, I think, is going to need to stay back, see the ball a long time. He's not going to challenge Brandon with many fastballs.
And Moss takes inside, ball one. Moss had 3 hits on Wednesday, a career high 3-hit game against the Cardinals. He's reached base safely in 4 of his 5 starts in right field. And already in the early part of the year, he's thrown out 2 base runners from right field at the plate.
He's still looking for his first RBI, and this is a guy that has a chance to be productive. He has a chance to hit 20-plus home runs. I could see him driving in 80 or more. He has that kind of power. I think just a little inexperienced, maybe not as patient as he could be.
And Moss hits this one to left center field. That's hanging up there for Lee. He'll make the catch. And that'll do it for the Buccaneers in the first inning. Freddie Sanchez goes deep to right center field, gets a double. Ryan Doumit drives him in. And the Pirates take a 1-0 lead. We'll head to the second when we return on FSN Pittsburgh. With today's Geico quote about yesterday's triple play in Cincinnati, he said, "One of the highlights of my career so far. I don't think I've ever seen one with my own eyes." And it was like, was there nobody out? Jack Wilson yesterday on starting that triple play in Cincinnati. The first one for Pittsburgh in 16 seasons.
Who would think that Jack would say one of his highlights of his career, possibly the easiest play he's made in his career.
The double play that he started
was incredible.
Was far better than the triple play that he started, but it wasn't a triple play. Hunter Pence to face Zach Duke to start the second inning. 1-0 Pittsburgh.
That triple play literally could have been turned with everybody out there with no gloves on. Jack could have caught it barehanded, threw it to Freddie barehanded.
Strike one call.
Freddie could have caught it barehanded and rolled it over to LaRoche, who could have caught it barehanded. I mean, they had all the time in the world, but the double play was something special.
1-1. Good velocity that time by Duke as he threw it past Hunter Pence. It'll be Pence, then Jason Michaels. Played here last year with Pittsburgh, and then Jeff Keppinger, another former Buck. 1-2. And Pence fouls it away. Here's it yesterday, in case you missed it. Here's how the triple play started and ended. Runners in motion. Little looper. And there's 1, 2, 3. I think if you're going to get a triple play, that might be one of the easier ones to get.
Yep.
But they're very difficult to come by.
So we talked about it yesterday. Typically see managers start their runners regardless of count with nobody out. 2 on, nobody out.
2-2 to Pence. Breaking ball right down to Jack Wilson as scripted. And there's one away. the center fielder, Jason Michaels. He's familiar with PNC Park.
Yes, he is, and had a nice year for the Pirates last year. Mostly used off the bench, but among the league leaders and pinch hit RBIs came through. It seemed like just about every time he was called on in a big situation, came through with a big hit.
Strike call in the corner. Michaels came over to Pittsburgh last year from the Cleveland Indians in early May.
He was third in the National League with 13 RBIs as a pinch hitter.
He is now behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
That's the key for Zach Duke. I think maybe settling in, getting a little more comfortable on the mound as he got ahead of Hunter Pence, quickly ahead of Jason Michaels.
Duke's 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Michaels.
And that's a nice pitch just to show that hard 4-seamer. Up in the eyes. Michaels a good low ball hitter.
Right to Wilson. Jack handles it. 2 down. Today's home opener broadcast on FSN Pittsburgh is also available on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the United States Armed Forces, serving in 177 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world today in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. And we welcome you and thank you. Pirates a 1-0 lead, top of the 2nd inning. Here's Keppinger. Side ball 1.
Jeff Keppinger, mostly a singles hitter. Got a lot of playing time at shortstop last year for Cincy. Came up with the Bucks in the minor league system as a second baseman. Flirted with 400 one year in Double-A. He's hitting 400 well into June. Off to a good start here with Houston. First at bat as an Astro. Had a walk-off hit in their only victory.
Strike call to Keppinger, 2-1. Jeff taking all the way that time.
It's tough to strike out. Led the National League as far as hardest to fan last year. Struck out once every 20 at bats or so. Almost once every 21.
Three-1 offering by Duke. He walked him. 2-out walk to Keppinger, and that'll bring up the catcher Humberto Quintero. With the pitcher Brian Moeller moseying out on deck at some point. He's not out there yet. He may wait and see if Quintero makes an out before he comes out. Well, Quintero looks down at third base. Dave Clark coaching at third for Houston. Jose Cruz at first. 2 out and 1 on for the Astros. Duke will go to first base.
Keppinger doesn't run all that well. In fact, he's probably a below average runner.
Quintero waits at the plate. Pitch just missed. Humberto Quintero played in his first game of the season on Saturday. Came in as a defensive replacement for Ivan Rodriguez. A couple of stints in the major leagues last year, appearing in only 59 games. Foul tip into the glove of Ryan Doumit. Count even, a ball and a strike. What a great crowd here today, as you would expect on opening day. Lots of black and gold in the stands.
Yes, sir.
1-1. Somebody in black and gold gets a souvenir.
That's that 4-seamer again, Zach Duke. It's not overpowering, but it's sneaky quick. And Quintero late on the first one as he swung through it. A little tardy there as well.
1 ball, 2 strikes. throw to first base, and Keppinger's back. A little bit overcast today, a little cool. Not a bad opening day. Tomorrow supposed to be bad weather, but on the weekend it's supposed to be terrific when Atlanta's here. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. And Zach Duke gets Humberto Quintero on strikes, and the Astros strand a runner. Police officers Eric Kelly, Paul Schuler II, and Stephen Maley were fatally shot while serving our community. To help honor their memories, the Pirates and the City of Pittsburgh police officers are accepting donations inside PNC Park today to benefit the Pittsburgh Fallen Heroes Fund, which will go to help the families of these 3 officers. So flags at half staff commemorating that. Pirates today wearing Pittsburgh Bureau of Police caps throughout the game. The PBP patch on the left sleeve of their uniform in recognition of the 3 fallen officers. In addition, the Astros players wore the caps during pregame introductions. The Pirates will be auctioning off the authenticated signed caps from both teams and the game-worn Pirates player jerseys on Pirates.com. Ramon Vasquez is retired by Jason Michaels in center field. So again, all proceeds going to the Pittsburgh Police Fallen Heroes Fund. And for more information, you can log on to Pirates.com. Joe Kerrigan with the hat today. Prior to the game today, closer Matt Capps showing off his Pittsburgh Police cap. 1 out, Jack Wilson the hitter. Zach Duke on deck. It's a 1-0 lead, bottom of the second. 307 career versus the Astros. Brian Muller deals, and that one is going to be deep in the hole. Tejada, long throw, and Wilson beats it out for a hit.
This ball got in the hole, and you see Tejada coming up with it in the grass, shallow left field. Nobody has the arm to throw out Jack Wilson, who's always hustling down the line. He beats the throw easily. You need a bazooka to throw him out from where Tejada gloved that ball.
Wilson aboard for Zach Duke. 1 on and 1 out. Zach Duke does not get cheated at the plate. Good swing.
He'll be bunting here.
He'll cheat himself here.
Yeah, he's not going to get the opportunity to swing the bat unless John Russell tries to be a little more aggressive, maybe try a hit and run, but most likely Zach will be squaring the bunt.
puts it down. Nice bunt by Zach Duke. Sacrifice. 2-4 goes the put out, and down to second, Jack Wilson.
Boy, Zach, help yourself. Absolutely perfect.
Put the barrel of the bat out there early. This is your southwest field can.
Deadens it right out front. Nowhere for Quintero to go except to first base. Well done. It's up to Niger to pick up that runner at second.
Morgan takes low ball one from Brian Moore. So runner in scoring position, 2 men out. Bottom of the second inning, opening day from PNC Park with John Wehner, Tim Neffel. We're happy you're with us. 1-0. And Morgan lifts this one in the air to left field. El Caballo puts it away, and that'll do it for the inning. No runs, a hit, a man left. We'll head to the third. 1-0 Bucks.
In Pittsburgh is brought to you by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. And by Levin Furniture, home of the luxury Stearns and Foster mattress.
Fans enjoying opening day 2009. It's quite an outfit.
Yeah, I like it. The black and gold Santa
I see
suit.
you in that outfit down in Bradenton one night?
Not the Santa Claus bucko black and gold suit, no. I like it.
Top of the third inning. Brian Moeller to lead off against Zach Duke, and he takes strike one. There's a very young Bucco fan, and in many years that fan will be right here. Opening day, maybe. Slow roller down to Sanchez. Quickly one away. Very sad news today from the world of baseball. Longtime Philadelphia Phillies broadcaster Harry Kalas passed away at the age of 73. Legendary voice of NFL films and the Phillies was taken to a hospital today after passing out in the broadcast booth before the game of the Washington Nationals. Kalas started his career with the Houston Astros and joined the Phillies in 1971. Had the privilege of talking with him in spring training, John. He was in our booth one day when the Phillies were in, and just he and I sitting in the booth having an opportunity to talk, and told me what a thrill it was for the 2008 season, and talked about a number of things. What a great man.
Very good man, and he can't be replaced. I'm sorry. You know, in Philadelphia, and even with the NFL film stuff, yeah, those are tough shoes to fill. He was just a great man. Like you said, a great man, a great broadcaster. There's hardly a sports fan anywhere that doesn't know or hasn't heard his voice.
Sad news today from the world of baseball sports. Gary Callis passing away at the age of 73. 2-2 pitch to Kaz Matsui from Zach Duke. Ground ball. Jack Wilson backhands. Long throw. And LaRoche got him with the tag on the way by. So 2 men are out. Play by LaRoche to cap off this throw from Wilson.
Jack's throw tailing on him just a little bit. Adam LaRoche does a good job of snaring it, getting the glove on Kaz Matsui.
Here is Tejada. Tejada doubled off the center field wall last time up. And he hits this one right down to Sanchez, and that'll do it for the inning. 3 up and 3 down for Freddie Sanchez, Zach Duke, and the Pirates. Number 1971, but he will have some memories of being at the ballpark. And what a memory today. John Wehner, Bob Walk unveiling the Steve Blass 50-year plaque that is going to be in front of the radio broadcast booth, celebrating 50 years in the Pirate organization. And in 1971, won 2 games in the World Series, 2 complete games, games 3 and game 7.
Yeah, they give you the ball. Why not pitch the whole thing?
You figured you got to show up, you may as well play, right?
Yeah, right. They're paying you for the whole thing. Hey, how about that play Jack Wilson and Adam made? That was the second flyby of the day.
Yeah.
Made the tag. Nicely done. Zach looks fine.
How cool was that?
This opening day, and I've seen a bunch of them, I haven't seen a classier presentation with the honoring of the policemen and the military and the pipes and everything was absolutely tip of the cap to the whole organization. And I know Chris Serkoch does a lot to coordinate these things, and it was just absolutely first class. And for them to bring my high school coach and his wife in, that was the frosting on the cake for me. It just absolutely made me almost have tears in my eyes to see the look on his face.
Was that a surprise that they brought them in? Were you tipped off?
No, actually, Mark Garda had a lot to do with that. And I knew they were coming. We had dinner last night and reminisced. And just to see him on a major league field, he got 3 of us into the big leagues from our little high school. Yeah, a neat man and his wife.
Yeah, I know I was getting on you before the game not to get emotional, and I'm sitting here watching this whole thing, and I struggled through the open. I struggled through the whole presentation. Not just you, but the whole thing, and it was. And Tim asked me beforehand.
Freddie Sanchez is rounding first and heading for second, and he has a pair of doubles, and that might choke you up too, John.
Well, that makes me happy. That wouldn't quite bring me tears of joy like Steve did today. But Tim asked me before we did the open, what was your most memorable opening day? And I said, today. I mean, literally. I mean, I couldn't think of an opening day anything like it. It was awesome, and well, obviously we're so happy for you. And like you said, it was first class all the way, the whole presentation.
Yeah, and the lady, the lady pilot from the Air Force that sang "God Bless America." If you can keep it together during that, then you're a stronger man than I am. That is still something unbelievably special, and she did a special job with it.
Yep, awesome job.
Steve, what time you got?
Let me check here. Let me check my Rolex. And
this new watch that you got as a gift today.
Bob Nutting presented this to me, and I don't know. I'm going to have to apologize.
Nate McLouth rips this one down the right field line. Around third is Sanchez. It is 2-0 Pirates.
Hey, I got here just in time, didn't I? Nicely done. We're working both corners. Usually do that with a plate. Now we're doing it with offense.
Well, we wanted to keep you on here a while. You got your day off, we know. I mean, but we wanted a full half inning.
Yeah, well, I wanted to come up in the first because I got a lot of friends down in a couple of those suites. And if I don't get down there, there's not going to be anything left.
Yeah, but
good stuff from Freddie and Nate. But the whole thing, yeah, I couldn't be happier. I'm so proud. So absolutely proud. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure the city of Pittsburgh, everybody here in the organization is proud of you too. I mean, 50 years, Steve. That's a long time.
I know. I felt good out there throwing the ball to Sangy because 35 years rest in between starts.
Feel loose?
Yeah, I did feel loose.
I don't think he felt good though.
No, he was a little apprehensive as he was the last 2 years of pitch for the Pirates. He was a little apprehensive about me delivering a ball, but this one was a pretty good strike, I thought.
Yeah, you had something on it too. It looked like you reached back a bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Ryan Domit takes inside, snap throw down to first, and McLouth is back.
I've been kind of partying and everything. Zach Duke looks just fine from what I see in the numbers.
Yeah, he looks good. Just continuing what he did through spring training and in his first start of the year, and he looked sharp. A little shaky, I thought, in the first inning with his command, but certainly has settled down. And it seems like it's been a while since we've had an extremely festive opening day to where we haven't had that much success in recent years, so it'd be nice just to put a thumping on these guys and cap off a great day.
Yeah, it does. That would really put a lid on it, and everybody go home happy. And absolutely. Yeah, I was watching and listening. You guys opened on the road 6 games, and I thought we got good pitching in 5 out of the 6.
Ryan Domit to center. Jason Michaels makes the catch for the out. Well, Steve, you said you were a little bit loose. Let's take a look at look at that delivery. The arm slot still there.
I tried. Joe's been talking about pitching inside. I tried to crowd David Arrigo there a little bit.
You painted the corner.
It's tough to crowd David.
Well, what's also impressive, I think, is that you see Manny has a hard time getting down, and that, with the coat on and everything else, keeping it, to where Manny didn't have to go too far, and he didn't have to. Have him bend over and
no rehearsals. We wanted to go live.
Good stuff.
One take, Steve.
One trick pony.
Here's Adam LaRoche. Walked his first time up.
We've got good pitching so far. Some good hits. How about Adam hitting over the fence? That would light everybody up, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
But you're right. The energy here, John, is absolutely terrific. How good does this ballpark look when you have a full house?
I mean, just incredible.
Now it's the whole setting. It's the scenic view of the city. It's the river, and you got 8 zillion people here. Doesn't get much better.
And I believe in what everything's, what Neil's doing, what Frank's doing, Bob Nutting, everybody. I really do believe that they are building a team that is going to be a competitive, not only just a competitive team, but a championship caliber team. And when that happens, and it might not happen for 2 or 3 or 4 years, or who knows, maybe this year or next, and that would be great. But this is what we would see. There's no doubt in my mind that we would see this place packed.
Oh, the north side would be on fire all summer long.
Absolutely.
All summer long.
And it can't get here soon enough. And not just wishful thinking by us, but the fans of Pittsburgh are dying for it.
Yeah, they're hungry for it. And everybody said, well, you got a beautiful ballpark. You get a ball club to match this ballpark, it is going to be lights out on the north side. A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
LaRoche hammers the 1-2 pitch deep to right field. Way back and gone. 2-run home run. Adam LaRoche. And it's 4-0 Pittsburgh.
Called it.
Yeah, isn't it nice when you say, well, he hit the ball over the fence, it would really jumpstart these people. Yeah, thanks, Adam. Appreciate that.
And they are on their feet. And
wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Did you write the script today or what?
I'll tell you, it's right out of Central Casting so far. Is that fun? Is that... Everybody digs the long ball, let's be honest.
yeah.
Except the opposing pitcher.
Brian Moeller deals to Brandon Moss, who hits one deep to right. That's off the Clemente wall. And Moss takes a big turn, and he'll be held to a long single.
You know, that's a tough ball to call because he hit that right on the screws. Didn't know how much height it had. I was watching the right fielder. He didn't move. I don't know if he's got it measured. He was just waiting for the bounce to come back. That got out there in a hurry.
Dewey Robinson's going to come out, the pitching coach for Houston.
Brandon Moss has some pop. The ball jumps off his back and he gets barrel to it. You saw it there. Blink of an eye, it's off the fence, and that's the only reason he's held to a single.
Well, you know, we saw the Astros in spring training, and they struggled in the spring. And now they're wondering if Moeller's all right. They struggled in the spring, and they've gotten off to the same kind of start in the regular season they did down in Florida. So it's it could be one of those difficult, well, certainly a difficult start. And, you don't know how their season's going to unfold.
And there are folks, you know, during spring training where you don't get too high or low on wins and losses in spring training, but folks in Kissimmee were a little concerned because the team just couldn't win. Mm-hmm. They come out, win their opener, then they lose 4 in a row. Well, Adam LaRoche got a hold of this Brian Moeller offering as Moeller put it up there on a silver platter for him.
Yeah, a fastball and
upstairs.
Yeah, Moeller does not have enough. If you got a 92 or 94, maybe you can get that by an Adam LaRoche, but throwing 85, that's not where you want that fastball to end up.
Right, you see the big hitters like an Adam LaRoche, they see that fastball up in that neighborhood, their eyes get very, very large. And Moeller's going to depart.
After giving up 7 hits, just 2 1/3 innings, after his first start, where he only won an inning and 2/3 against the Cubs. Our Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen has been made. We'll tell you about the new Houston pitcher when we come back. Pittsburgh with John Wehner. I'm Tim Neverett, and in the booth with us on his day off is the Golden Boy, Steve Blass.
Boy, I haven't been called boy in a while.
How about the one?
That reminds me of the 50 years. So
50 years with the Pirates organization, and great ceremony. Now, were you surprised when they put the plaque up in front of the broadcast booth? Nobody told you about that, did
they? Nobody told me about the watch. Nobody told me about the plaque over on the other side. And just it was great emotional hits time after time after time. That is unbelievable. I looked up and saw the 50, and then I saw the caricature about after the last out and all that stuff. Just icing on the cake. Just so much icing on such a wonderful cake.
Yeah, wonderful day. And
when I think about 50, I stopped on the way up here and had a chance to throw out a first pitch in Myrtle Beach because of Bruce Del Canton being honored down there. He passed away last fall, and that was an honor to represent the ball club down there. But you talked about 50 years and seeing those young faces. I saw the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, the team, in the afternoon. I was introduced to them. They're so young. They've got their whole careers. They got their lives in front of them. And it reminded me, I was in the Carolina League 1,000 years ago in that league. And well, it brought back a lot of memories about being in that type of clubhouse, those kind of surroundings, being out early in the afternoon for BP and all that sort of thing. And it brought back memories. Because I was in the Carolina League. Susan Sarandon wasn't there when I was there.
She wasn't.
No, and I looked for her.
No Annie Savoy.
No. I didn't find anybody that worshipped at the altar of baseball. And I was looking.
I have a feeling, though, you may have tried to breathe through your eyelids a couple of times, maybe.
Yeah, I never figured out the garter belt thing.
No.
No.
Rose goes in the back.
Okay. Thank you, Tim, for that piece of advice and information. It's a little late for me in the program, but you never know.
Left-handed Tim Burdack comes on to replace Brian Moeller. Moeller left due to an injury, and Moeller only went 2 1/3 innings. He's still responsible for Brandon Moss on first base. So the book not yet closed on Moeller. So Burdack can take more than his 8 warm-up pitches. With an injury, you can take as many as you want.
Another thing about it's hard to compare. Somebody asked me, how was that ceremony today compared to starting a home opener? Well, that's a tough question because it's a real honor to start the home opener. I did it 3 times. But I don't know. This might be the best because there's so much involved. There's so much that the Pirates did, that they represent the city and everything. The whole thing. I was a part of it. It was a wonderful part for me, but the overview of this whole ceremony was just phenomenal. And now, if we can tack a win on it, like you say, John, that's a little frosting on the cake.
Well, Adam LaRoche hit his 2nd home run of the year, and it's now 4-0 Pirates.
When did Adam hit his 2nd home run last year? It probably took a while.
Yeah, good question. Not exactly sure, but I thought he came in only hitting 136 with a homer and a couple RBIs, but I thought he hit the ball well in St. Louis, all but the one game against Wellmeyer, and it'll be huge for this team if he's productive in April.
Moss at first, and here's Ramon Vasquez, third baseman, flying out to center's first time up.
Yeah, if you throw that LaRoche bat into the mix in April and May, and now you're looking a little different Pittsburgh Pirate lineup with Niger at the top. You got some speed mixed in. You sprinkle a little power in there, and get your pitching, and have a little fun.
2 balls and no strikes. Burdack from Oak Lawn, Illinois, lives in Lockport now, 35 years of age. He has been what you would call a journeyman.
But he's left-handed, so you can journey for quite a long time.
When you look at left-handers in their media guides, you often see multiple teams, because they're always getting moved around.
Absolutely.
Well, this guy's been effective as a left-hander, and as effective as anybody as far as getting lefties out. Last year, he was the 2nd lowest opponent batting average against lefties at just 150. In fact, since 2007, only J.C. Romero has had a better opponent's batting average at 149 than Burdack.
Foul right back. And the count full, 3-2. 1 out, 4-run lead. Moss at first base. We'll see if he takes off with the pitch here. Middle infielders playing for 2. Third baseman Keppinger back of the bag and off the line for the left-handed hitting Vasquez. Runner goes, and that is ball 4, first and second. Well, 1971, of course, was a tremendous year. On a flashback to Steve Blass.
There's a drive up the middle. Hernandez is back in the bag. He's going.
Almost fall. Big Bob caught you.
Yeah, that was the right guy to jump on. You dream of those moments when you're 8 years old playing out in the backyard. What am I going to do if I'm in that kind of situation? You have no clue. You just go berserk. Just air it out.
Yeah, that's a cool looking character. The
drawing,
and all that. But I saw that you had golf balls made like that, or was it Jack? Did Jack send you balls? I think
Jack Wilson said, "Do you want a dozen of those balls?" Yeah, and they were Titleist Pro V's. And I said, that would be cool. So he gave me the dozen when they came with the invoice. That's before Jack got the big contract. But yeah, I had those. You wonder about what people think when you have a golf ball with your caricature on it. So I did hit a lot of them in the woods very quickly. Not by design, but they got there.
Drowned a couple of them, too?
I did, yep. Bad swimmers.
Wilson loses the handle. Slipped right out of his hands. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jack Wilson.
Another nice thing, too, is that the guys all lined up there in the dugout, and Jack coming over, and congratulations from him, and Freddie, and Matt Capps, and Tony B, and Perry Hill, and just a bunch of the guys. This is all a blur for them, way back then, 30-some years ago. But I really do root for them, and I appreciate their friendship.
Well, I know last year you addressed the team, both minor league and big league team, and talked about the tradition of the Pirates and how important it is to wear this uniform. And and I think you sent them a message in a way. Maybe you weren't trying to, but you certainly wore your emotions on your sleeve, and you basically told him what this organization means to you. And I think every young team, any team period, should realize who they're playing for and what that name across your chest stands for, and playing for that name and not the one on your back. And
Maz always made that point. The name on the front is more important than the name on the back.
Yeah, and it's great to see them. I noticed that too. I looked down and I saw our dugout, and all the guys were at the top step on the railing and giving you the applause, and certainly deservedly so. And I think that's important. I do. I think there's not enough history, I think, taught to young players nowadays.
Well, you move around so much now with free agency. It's you don't automatically have that sense of heritage and legacy. But what I really loved talking to them about last year was the fact that you work so hard to get to the big leagues. You'll never work harder for anything in your life. When you get there, don't be content just to be there. Find out how good a big leaguer you can be. I think that's so critical, because some guys are content to be here, and if you do that, you're cutting yourself short.
And a lot of it has to do with the money, I think, that's involved in professional sports nowadays. And back when you played, and if you got to the postseason, you're playing for a paycheck, essentially.
Important.
Sure,
yeah,
right? That was a playoff share or a World Series share was huge to you guys back then.
Yeah. I'll never forget in the mail getting a check for $18,000 for winning the World Series. I mean, that was large. And you don't want to say, you don't want to play that game. Who's the poorest, who had the least amount of money. But I remember taking a loan out every year to go to spring training, paying it back during the season. That was part of the deal.
Times have changed a little.
Times have changed. Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay. And I wouldn't be a hypocrite, because I won't say that I wouldn't love to be playing right now. Tell me about it.
No question.
I don't want to ever convey that wrong impression.
Oh, I'm sure nowadays the guys get that kind of a check for wearing somebody's batting gloves. I mean, it's just the endorsements that are out there and everything else. But even having said that, I mean, sure, you got rewarded monetarily for winning a world championship, but you didn't play for that. You didn't play. You played to compete and to beat the guy across from you.
Ball 4 to Jack Wilson, and the bases are full of Pirates. Zach Duke, the pitcher, will try to help his own cause with 1 out and the bases full.
Yep, you played because you want to find out how good you could be.
Exactly.
Moss at third, Vasquez at second, and now Jack Wilson with a free pass down at first. Back-to-back walks issued by Tim Burdack since entering the game for the injured Brian Mueller.
How about Zach getting a base hit now? That would be fun.
It would be beautiful. And see that hefty average that Zach takes with him to the plate, hitting .500. Sweet swinging double in St. Louis.
How about just a little flare somewhere?
And he takes a strike. Yeah, that double he hit in St. Louis was a hard shot right to the right center field gap.
it's going to be a little bit of a challenge with the lefty coming at Zach. It's a whole different look, and it's not a fun look.
No. Well, the infield drawn in for Zach Duke. 1-1.
That's where you just kind of hunker down, try to find any way you possibly can to make the ball go off your bat somewhere in fair territory, anywhere. Might cost you double play, but put the ball in play.
2-1.
That cannot find it. And Zach looking good up there. And
didn't bite.
No flinch, no nothing here. And you almost have to think that Burdick has to come with a fastball. And
got to guess fastball.
Yeah, and for Zach, it's going to be the easiest pitch for him to hit.
He swings and he rolls that one toward third. Play comes to the plate. They get the force there.
Yeah, well, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, Moss is forced out. And Zach Duke aboard on the fielder's choice. Vasquez moves up, and so does Wilson.
Yep, just defensive swing. I still think, as you watch it again, when you're a pitcher going up there, I just guess fastball first pitch, and it helped me out a lot because pitchers are looking to get ahead of you. Now they might drop the curveball in every once in a while, but a lot of times they'll try to get out in front 0-1 with a fastball, and I think the deeper you go into a count as a pitcher trying to hit, the more trouble you're in.
How did you hit, by the way?
I had 251 year, 21 for 84.
Nice.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you in fantasy camp. I
Well,
was down there once, but I'm telling you though, I mean, you knocked the ball around the field. I was very impressed by that.
I did go the opposite way for you too, John.
Yeah,
I didn't try to pull anything.
Yeah.
Couldn't pull anything.
Losing the whole field.
Another visit to the mound. Stewie Robinson, Astros pitching coach, comes out to visit with Tim Burdick as he gets behind in the count 2-0 to Nigel Morgan. Situation is this: 3 runs are in. Adam LaRoche has homered this inning. Nigel Morgan is the 9th man to bat. And the bases are loaded with 2 men out. Take a look at our Barrel Automotive League leaders stat. Barrel Automotive League leader is Nigel Morgan. Today, tied for 3rd in the National League. He's 11 hits.
He's not a real big target either for this guy. Yeah.
That's ball 3, and now Burdick will pitch away from walking in a run.
The way he's struggling with his command, you'd think Niger may take 2 if this is a strike.
How about Mike Lincoln yesterday? I remember Mike Lincoln being pretty consistent with his control.
Yeah.
I was listening to it. What was it? Saturday. Saturday.
Ooh,
strike 2.
That may have been a gift. And velocity was down in. The control was off, and I'm wondering if he's not hurt. I mean, he's battled his injuries over the.
What a comeback he's made in his career.
Sure, absolutely.
3-2 pitch, runners go, and Morgan slaps this one foul.
I want to say he missed 3 full years with various different injuries, and came back in a nice season last year with the Reds. And the way he pitched, he looked like he was pitching hurt.
I love to see what Nigel Morgan just did, because the pitcher just had a chance to come all the way back, and he really fouled off a pretty good pitcher's pitch, even though it's a 3-2 count. Made a good delivery, and not much Morgan was going to do with it. Did a good job staying alive.
Sir. Full count, base is full, and Morgan again will foul it away.
And it's the one thing we've talked about, and we watched Niger struggle throughout spring training, and early on he got hot in the last week, and you still like to see him being able to draw more walks. He's only drawn 1, but he has done this. He has prolonged at bats. He has wasted a lot of pitches. He's allowed his teammates to see a ton of pitches early in the game.
Yeah, so many times you can't control how many walks you can get. I mean, you can control it to a degree, and you can help yourself, but it's up to that pitcher out there if he's going to walk you or not.
For sure. It's obviously it's great to see Niger off to such a good start, and then he's dangerous when he gets on those bases. A lot of fun to watch.
Payoff pitch, and Morgan hits this one toward the middle. Tejada blows the play. Vasquez in to score. Wilson in to score. It is 6-0 Pittsburgh.
Well, there's kind of a microcosm of what the Astros have done since spring training started.
Yeah, not very pretty. This long inning. A good at bat from Niger, and Tejada going to his left just kind of old-aided a bit. I'm sure you had an easy play on Duke at second, but you see the bench getting all excited. And Tejada had just 11 errors last year, but they still haven't rolled on that particular play.
That's got to be an error. When that ball was hit, I was saying, well, I hope Morgan can beat it out at first base, because he was sliding over towards second with a slower runner. Give him a hit.
They just gave him a hit.
Thank you very much.
Exactly. And like you said, it would have been a tough play if he had to throw to first, but he has an easy play with Zach running the second.
And Sanchez, who led off the inning with a double and has scored a run.
You know, these are the kind of innings that it's already been long enough, but sometimes they just won't end. They won't go away. It just goes on and on and on. And you're happy that the Pirates are on the correct side of it.
Sanchez right down to second base. Matsui ends the inning. 4 runs come across. Adam LaRoche with a home run. Steve Blass, thanks for joining us. We'll see you at work.
I'll look forward to it Wednesday night.
Enjoy your day, man.
Roger is jolly so far on opening day, 6-0. Pirates here at PNC Park, one of the great places to see any sporting event in America. With John Wehner, Tim Neverett, have Steve Blass up here. Get a big dose of Steve during the regular season, and today being his 50th anniversary, he had the day off. Zach Duke right now cruising along into the 4th inning, and he will face 3, 4, and 5 in the Astros order. Lance Berkman, Carlos Lee, and Hunter Pence. And Zach Duke got him an order in the 3rd, but he had a long rest in the bottom of the inning when the Pirates pushed 5 runs across on 5 hits. Take a look at our leader of the game update, brought to you by Firestone. 12 home runs at PNC Park, number 2 by an opponent. You see Jim Edmonds right behind him.
No surprise, Albert Pujols tops that list. He's just a Pirate killer, Pujols. Berkman's no slouch himself.
Berkman takes a pitch outside. His career on base percentage is 44%. That's 3rd among active players behind Todd Helton of Colorado and Albert Pujols. As you mentioned, Pujols. Well, Pujols kills a lot of teams. I think he kills about every team.
Yeah, he's scared. We were talking about that stat the other day with Pujols. I want to say it was against these Astros where he had 2 home runs. He was 2 for 2 with 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. And I saw a stat somewhere they put him up against the entire Kansas City Royals team, who in, I don't know, 160 some at bats had 2 home runs, 8 RBIs.
Yeah. Do that. Yeah, he had a grand slam and another home run against the Astros. Berkman, 3 balls and 1 strike as Zach Duke looks in at Ryan Doumit. The wind and the 3-1 pitch. Back at him off his glove. Backhanded by Sanchez. He's got him. It's your basic 1-4-3 putout. Time to today's Aflac trivia question. For the Duck. All right. Who was the first Pirate pitcher to win on opening day at PNC Park? Who was the first Pirate pitcher to win on opening day at PNC Park? We're talking about left-handers who, or pitchers that move around a little bit. He's moved around a little bit.
Yep.
Give you the answer at the bottom of the inning. Carlos Lee. And Adam LaRoche. 2 down.
Boy, Zach, always nice to get Berkman and Lee out of the way. 2 dangerous hitters, as productive as offensive players you're going to find in the National League, and nice to face them with nobody on base. Zach with this nice 6-run lead here. Hopefully he could just keep mowing them down. This team that really struggled offensively, the Astros.
Hunter Pence had a nice season last year. Takes strike 1. Pence grounded out to Jack Wilson at shortstop in his first plate appearance today. That was in the 2nd inning. He's hit safely in 5 straight games. 1-1.
Bit of a free swinger, Hunter Pence. Get him to chase out of the strike zone. He has some pop in that bat. He's a bad ball hitter. He can hit the ball out of the park. Runs well.
This one fouled back. He does run well. In fact, he was 2nd in the National League and 4th in the majors with 37 infield hits a year ago. So he was legging out some singles.
Well, that was a bit of a surprise. I know he runs well, but you know, to be a 2nd in the league.
Pence takes inside. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hunter Pence. Let's see, what are the local delicacies today? I want some of that caramel corn. It would smell good up here, wouldn't it? Taste even better.
That's one of the better things about coming to the ballpark is just the smells of the ballpark and all sorts of different corn there.
Give me a corn. 2-2 coming to Hunter Pence. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Duke is going deep in the count to Pence with 2 down on the top of the 4th. Pirates a single run in the first, 5 in the 3rd.
I mentioned Pence is usually a free swinger, and Zach maybe trying to get him to chase something out of the zone.
And he walks him. 2nd walk issued by Zach Duke. Look along the river walk there. Great scenery on the Allegheny River.
New playing surface this year. Nice design. Perfectly cut.
He's enjoying the view from the rotunda. Pitch to Jason Michaels is ball 1. Michaels bounced out to Jack Wilson. He is 0 for 1. So 2 outs, hence the runner at first. Zach Duke trying to get the Pirates to the plate in the bottom of the 4th inning. Step over to first base. So Michaels back in the box looking out at Duke. This one is fouled away. 87 miles an hour that time. Well, Zach Duke has done a fine job, I think, to start the season. He had a solid spring. There were no guarantees for Duke as far as the rotation was concerned heading into Bradenton in February. But other than Paul Maholm, Zach Duke came up with a terrific spring as far as the starters were concerned. Ian Snell was gone for the majority of the spring with Team Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic. Ross Ohlendorf, who will pitch on Wednesday in Game 2 of this series, did a fine job as well. This one well out of play down the right field line. And Ohlendorf looked pretty good against Chris Carpenter. The problem is he ran into Chris Carpenter, who had a career day on Thursday of last week.
Yeah, that was about as unhittable a pitcher as I've seen in a long, long time. Chris Carpenter last Thursday.
Here's the 2-2. This one is hit high in the air. Jack Wilson calling for it. He waits for it. Finally it comes down. A mile-high pop fly, and Wilson grabs it to end the inning. Go to the bottom of the fourth when we return. Day Automotive this day in Pirates baseball history. April 13th, 1976. The Cobra Dave Parker had 5 RBIs in the Pirates' 14-4 win against the St. Louis Cardinals. That gentleman there actually visited us in Bradenton, Florida. He is a professor at Carnegie Mellon.
Really? So that is just an opening day outfit? I was wondering how.
No, he was wearing a similar outfit in Florida, too. He didn't have the parrot on his shoulder. He brought the parrot today. But he brought a number of students up, and they're working on some very interesting video things in terms of sports injuries that perhaps will be useful on television here pretty soon. Russ Ortiz is the new pitcher for Houston. Interesting because Ortiz was the scheduled starter for Thursday. He comes in to back up Tim Burdack. He didn't fare much better than Brian Moeller today.
Burdack struggling with his command. Ortiz. It could be just a maybe an inning or two for Ortiz. This may have been like a side work day. I guess it's possible that he could still come back and pitch on Thursday. One of 3 20-game winners here for the Astros. Oswald had a couple of 20-win seasons. Ortiz, Mike Hampton.
The problem is they're not getting them when we're winning 20 games.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting up there in age.
Cut and a miss by McLeod.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of year Mike Hampton has battling the injuries over the last several years. And Bucks are due to face him Wednesday night, opening night.
2-2 to McLeod. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's the right-hander Russ Ortiz. Payoff pitch. Foul away, and Nate will have another opportunity. Remember back in the top of the first inning, Miguel Tejada hit one deep to center field, and McLeod crashed into the center field wall. He was shaken up a bit.
Yeah, that was a bit scary looking when it happened. And just was hopeful that Nate didn't break anything or separate anything. Just probably got the wind knocked out of him.
So he cleaned out the cobwebs and he's ready to go. You hear the crunch against the wall.
Kind of pushed it. I don't know if Niger was yelling Nate. Niger was close enough, could have gave him a little help. Usually as a corner outfielder or any other outfielder, you could get close enough to the outfielder, run to the wall, you warn them and start screaming and yelling, wall, 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 or you're all right, you're all right.
Matsui throws out McLeod, and there is one away. All right, we gave you our Aflac trivia question. Top of the inning, who was the first Pirate pitcher to win on opening day at PNC Park? A guy who certainly would qualify as a journeyman pitcher, but he's had a nice career. That would be Ron Vallone. April 8, 2002, won 7 1/3, 1-0 win over Cincinnati. Perry Hill, first base coach, had to dance out of the way of that one from Ryan Doman. Perry's made a big difference in the infielders. The infielders really like the work that Perry Hill's done with them.
Yep, very impressive as far as what he brings to the table. I talked to Jack at length about Perry Hill the other day, and they all have the utmost respect for Perry and the work he does all the way around. Tony Beasley, who worked with the infielders a year ago, now works with the base running and works with the pitchers on getting them ready to hit. It's interesting. I think it's a great idea. You just don't see pitchers don't get much instruction, or they haven't in the past as far as hitting is concerned.
John Russell, former catcher. John had to have both his hips replaced. Talked to him about it the other day. So was it from catching? The crouching? He said, no, it's kind of what Bo Jackson had, that degenerative hip thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said it got to a point where he just had trouble walking. Now he walks fine, and lo and behold, we're on the road, and he develops a case of the gout in his left elbow. And they put on a soft cast to take away a big bulky brace he's had to wear, and he's been in a bit of discomfort.
I've known a couple of guys that had gout. I hear it's extremely painful, and I guess whatever it was that they removed from his elbow relieved a lot of the pain, but still has some swelling down the arm into the fingers.
Russ Ortiz making an early appearance in this series. 3-2 pitch, and Doman strikes out. So 2 men are out. And the batter will be Adam LaRoche.
That's just a changeup. It looked like he had a changeup grip. Not a great location for a changeup. You don't want to leave it up there. Belt to chest high. Maybe just a little BP fastball. They got a new type of speed tracker, like a radar gun here at PNC Park this year, where it tracks the velocity of the pitch out of the pitcher's hand at 40 feet from home plate. And then when it reaches the plate, for instance, that last pitch to Adam LaRoche started out at 90, at 40 feet, 90 at the plate, 83.
LaRoche bangs one up the middle. A base hit. And he is 2 for 2. Sweet swing of Adam LaRoche.
Yeah, he didn't get all of it. A little bit off the end of the bat. But the hand stayed inside long enough to where if you stay inside, you hit it off the end, drive it up the middle the other way. If you get around it and you hit it off the end, usually a weak grounder to your pole side.
LaRoche aboard for Moss. And Moss hits this one down to Berkman. He backhands it, steps on the bag, takes care of Moss himself. Nothing across for the Pirates. One hit and a man left. 6-0 Bucks.
Is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. And by Aflac. Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Beautiful downtown Pittsburgh on opening day 2009. Pirates, pretty good performance so far. Huh? 6-0. Top of the 5th inning. And tell you what, people go through a lot to get on TV, don't they, John?
Yeah, they do. He was eyeing that camera all day waiting for a chance for it to point his way.
You did more than that to get on TV, I think, from what I heard.
I was a kid?
No, now.
Now? Oh, yeah. Begging garden. Well, no TV games. Can I do opening day, please, please?
Keppinger takes the next pitch from Zach Duke. 2 balls and no strikes to the third baseman for the Astros, Jeff Keppinger. Keppinger walked his last time up. Takes a strike there.
Zach Duke with a couple of walks, just one hit allowed. 6-run lead, should be pounding this strike zone.
Keppinger hits this one in the air to left center field. Nate McLeod calling off Nyjer Morgan, and there's one down. Duke so far today has done a nice job. He's been very effective and efficient.
Yeah, that good change up there set up by a 4-seam fastball. He's kept the ball on the ground for the most part, which is when you know as a pitcher you have the good sinker working. Just a couple of strikeouts, and that's the way Zach likes it. Pitch to contact, keep the ball on the ground in the infield.
Quintero, the catcher, takes a breaking ball for a strike. Jason Smith is out on deck now, a pinch hitter for the Astros. She will hit for Russ Ortiz. We'll see a new pitcher in the bottom of the inning. Here's Smith. Nothing in 2 to Quintero. And he strikes out. Not a good swing by Quintero, but he was fooled by the pitch from Zach Duke.
Oh, yeah, Zach with that high 4-seam fastball the pitch before sped the bat up, so Quintero, he's starting everything early. Watch how early he starts it and doesn't pick up the rotation of that curveball. It looked like Zach kind of tightened it up a little bit, threw a little harder, not as much break. Picks up his third strikeout.
Right-handed loosening up. Chris Sampson will be the next on duty on the hill for Houston. 2 outs, and Smith gets one to center field. And we will go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Zach Duke getting it done. It's 6-0 Pirates. Tomorrow, the Pirates get a night off, and FSN will get you ready for the NHL playoffs. It's Spotlight, Pens Playoff Preview, presented by Trip Total Media. Rob King and the team will break down the first round and examine what it will take to bring the cup back home. Tomorrow night, 7:30, right here on FSN. That'll open up the first round in that building. Also, we will not be on television on Wednesday, but we will be on Thursday. So a little bit of a break due to the Penguins' first round playoff. And our next telecast on Thursday, we expected to see Russ Ortiz. We still might. Just had an inning of work today. Jeff Karstens is expected to make his 2009 debut Thursday afternoon. Pirates 6-0. 6 runs on 9 hits. Here is Ramon Vasquez to face Chris Sampson. 0-1 the count.
There's Sampson's numbers early on this year for the Texas native. Bounced back rather quickly, actually. Had a underwent surgery at the end of last year, October 1st. He had to have his lateral extensor tendon repaired in his right elbow.
Can you point to where that is?
Point to my right elbow.
Don't worry. Most people can't point to where that is. This one is shallow center, and coming on, Michaels had a late break. Makes up for it and retires Vasquez. 1 away. Jack Wilson will be the hitter. The ball just kind of hung up there a little bit, but Michaels, first step's always back when you're trying to judge a fly ball anyway, and it took a long step back.
Yeah, and he's played some center field. We didn't see him out there a whole lot with the Pirates last year. I know he's been out there, but not used to playing every day, particularly in center. And that ball right at you too, and that's what was the case. The ball off of Vasquez's bat was ball right at you. And you either try to freeze or before you get a read on how hard it was hit.
Wilson takes outside 2-0 from Russ Ortiz. I beg your pardon, Chris Sampson. Ortiz won an inning, gave up a hit and struck out one. Brian Moeller started it, only went 2 1/3. Tim Burdack went a third to finish up the third inning. And Wilson, left side. A tough play for Tejada. And a good scoop by Berkman to retire Jack Wilson. That was a long throw from the hole by Miguel Tejada. Berkman helped him out at the other end.
That's a real nice fit from Berkman. Not an easy one. That little in-between hop, and you see Tejada gets loaded up and just gets on top of it a bit from the southwest field cam and gets it clean. A little front foot slippage. They kind of cut the infield grass. They put in a new surface. The infield grass cut a little bit differently than it was last year.
Pitch in the dirt to Duke.
Part of the reason for that, I guarantee you let me clear that. Telestrator, that on the first base side, especially the way it's cut, it helps as far as the first basemen aren't going to get many hops that come from the lip of the grass. It's probably going to hit the dirt. And there you see this angle here. Usually I got the wrong deal going here on my telestrator. I need to
Zach Duke hammers one to center, and that one is over the head of Michael, sent to the wall. Zach Duke will pull to second base with his second double of the season.
He looks like he knows what he's doing, doesn't he? He's sitting there and trying not to smile.
He's fighting it off.
That's
right
a pretty swing. Look at the pretty swing. Handsy and Sampson can't believe it.
He said that was the pitcher?
Yeah, well, Sampson's from Texas, too. The pitcher's hit down there in Texas. Texas strong, Zach Duke. Just a flick of the wrists.
Don't mess with Texas unless you're from Texas.
I'm going to figure out that telestrator before we leave here. I had her going
Well,
there in between innings.
If you hadn't have said anything, no one would have known. It actually looked pretty good.
The windshield wiper going.
Nigel Morgan takes a strike.
I think that's what Mitch said. Turn off the windshield wipers. They don't give me one on the road. I don't get to play with a telestrator very often.
Strike two. Well, you could come on your nights off and practice.
Well, they locked that thing up. It's worth like $1 billion. That's why they're not on the road.
That's why they don't let you use it.
Yeah.
2 outs, Duke at second base, and the 0-2 pitch to Morgan, lifted to center. Jason Michaels, all room this time, will end the inning. No runs a hit, a man left. We'll head to the 6th inning, though. Pirates on top 6-0 for Zach Duke. food run. A pierogi race. And I think Jalapeno Hannah came in 5th out of 4.
Well, she was struggling. Oh, I tell you what, I mean, the first race, they don't build up. You know, I mean, they were running a long way. They ran about a half a mile. They're telling me that the telly doesn't work. I got it figured out now. I could have gave you the route of the pierogi race as they circled pretty much the whole field, at least 3/4 of the field.
Yeah, that's a long run.
Yeah, Hannah just did not have the stamina.
Turning into a wordsmith.
Yeah.
John Wehner, Tim Neverett, opening day here at PNC Park. Top of the 6th inning. 6 runs on 10 hits for the Pirates. No runs on a single hit for the Houston Astros. That lone hit came back in the 1st inning. It was a double off the center field wall by Miguel Tejada. Kaz Matsui takes high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Matsui has grounded out twice to Freddie Sanchez at second base in the 1st inning, and to Jack Wilson at shortstop in the 3rd. Taking a strike, 2-1. On the ground to short. Wilson, long throw, he retires Matsui. Opening day is one of those days as a kid, John. You just wanted to skip school, didn't you?
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, as a kid, a baseball fan, baseball player, little leaguer, whatever, you're always thinking about opening day when the home team opens up.
Yeah, I don't want to give anybody any ideas. I guess if you're not here, you're either here or at school anyhow right now, or maybe just getting home from school. But I didn't think about it. I did skip school.
Yeah. I'm wondering how many here got a note from their doctor today.
Yeah, good question. Take the bus down, walk across the river, head over to Three Rivers Stadium like a lot of these guys have done. Although a lot of kids, because Easter was yesterday, they're off from school.
That's right. Well, he's going to drop into the glove of Brandon Moss for out number 2, so Tejada is out. Stan Savran skipped school today, didn't he? He must have. The Savran Football League mock draft is coming up Thursday, April 23rd, and we're looking for 32 lucky viewers to represent each of the 32 NFL teams. If selected, you'll appear with Stan to make your pick live on the show. Visit FSNinsider.com for complete rules to enter the drawing.
Well, he didn't have to skip school, Stan. His professor took the day off, canceled classes. He's here in that pirate suit. And Stan was going to do a little bit, whatever you say, like sports injuries or whatever. He had a big special working on with the parrot guy.
Lance Berkman, 0 for 2, struck out first time, and then grounded out off the glove of Duke. Sanchez played it behind the mound near second base and made a strong throw to retire Berkman. Pitch outside, 2-1 to Lance. 2 outs, infield back, outfield straight away, and the pitch by Duke to Berkman with a screen, 2-2. Well, how do you explain the rough start for the Astros, John? 1-5 coming into the game today.
Good question. I mean, we always talk about how important starting pitching is, but for the Astros, their offense is going to click based on their middle of their lineup. And
strike 3 call as Berkman gets punched out by Zach Duke. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Bucks up 6-0. The Astros and the Pirates. It's opening night at PNC Park, and it's also Buck Night. You can see the Pirates take on the Astros and enjoy soda, hot dogs, and popcorn for just $1. Game tickets for $1 are also still available while supplies last. To order your tickets to Buck Night, call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or visit Pirates.com. John Winter, Tim Neverett, back here at PNC Park. Freddie Sanchez leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Chris Sampson. Sanchez today has doubled twice and grounded out 2 for 3. Sanchez with 5 doubles on the young season. And he ropes this one down the left field line. He might have another. Oh, yeah. Sanchez around first. He'll pull into second base with his 3rd double of the ball game. He has doubled his double output in just 4 at-bats today.
Yeah, when Freddie's locked in, line to line, he can hit it. A deep double his first time up in the right center off the top of the wall. This one just your garden variety line drive over the third baseman head.
And Nate McLouth with Sanchez aboard. Takes inside. Nate today is 1 for 3, an RBI single and a run scored in the 5-run 3rd inning. Got his Gold Glove prior to the game. Got the Roberto Clemente Award. And, got a little bit of a headache in the 1st inning when he crashed into the center field wall chasing Miguel Tejada's double. The pitch inside for a ball, 1-1.
Well, you think about it, that 1st inning for the Pirates could have been costly for not only Nate McLouth but Ryan Domit also. A foul ball brushed off his bare right thumb. Luckily, both of them are A-OK. Arguably your most productive hitters a year ago. If they go out in your home opening day, you're in trouble.
Left-hander Wesley Wright loosening up for the Astros as Cecil Cooper has had his staff very busy in game 1 of this 3-game set. 3-0, and Nate takes high ball 4. Well, let's check out today's Coors Light Freeze Cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Watch this. Tejada, top of the 1st inning with 1 out. And Nate McLouth almost 1 out.
Well, there you see it. That's a pretty good freeze cam. Face first there, shoulder, jaw perhaps sore.
Well, Chris Sampson is getting the attention of pitching coach Dewey Robinson. And Nathan Lucero, the head athletic trainer, gone out. 2nd time they've had a pitcher with an injury problem. Brian Mueller left the game due to one. And now Sampson looks like he's going to remain on, but they needed to check him out just to be sure.
Now you were talking about, the Astros, obviously the struggles they had in spring training. It looks like it's carrying over to the regular season as they're 1-5. And why are they bad? They're starting, their pitching rotation has ERA over 6, batting average as a team just .250. Middle of the lineup doing pretty much nothing first week of the season.
Ryan Domit hits this one to center field fairly deep. Michaels ranging back. Sanchez a tag. And the Pirates will have runners at the corners with 1 out. Domit moves the runner over.
Productive out. Just missed it, did Ryan Domit. A little bit off the end of the bat perhaps, but gets Freddie over to 3rd for Adam LaRoche already with a big day. A chance for another RBI here.
LaRoche walked his first time up, and he has hit safely twice since. Had a home run in the 3rd inning, 2nd of the season, and then a base hit in the 4th. You suppose the extended spring training, the longer spring training, may have helped Adam?
Couldn't have hurt.
This one's popped up. Miguel Tejada will handle it. There are 2 down.
First pitch swinging. Adam just under it. But yeah, I think the more at bats he gets,
as a hitter, you'll go through ruts, and some days feel better than other days, and you hope at some point in time during spring training or the first few days of the season that you feel something, or you work on something, and it clicks to where you're comfortable at the plate. Because when you're comfortable, you're up there, you're relaxed, and you don't think of much other than seeing the ball and hitting the ball. And when Adam's in that frame of mind, he's as good a hitter as any in the National League. Just so happens in years past he didn't become that hitter until after the All-Star break.
Brandon Moss down to Berkman. That's the inning. 2 men left. We'll head to the 7th. Pirates 6, Astros nothing.
Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines has low fares with no hidden fees. Book now at southwest.com, where what you see is what. On FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines has low fares with no hidden fees. Book now at southwest.com, where what you see is what you pay. And by Heineken. Give yourself a good name. Heineken.
Zach Duke rolling into the 7th inning against the Houston Astros, facing Carlos Lee. He'll have Hunter Pence and Jason Michaels to follow. 6-0. Pirates with 11 hits, and Duke has just surrendered 1 to Miguel Tejada back in the 1st, and Lee in the air to right field toward the line. Moss on the run, and Moss isn't going to get it. Hit the top of the pole and goes out of play. Very happy to have with us here on opening day 2009 the president of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Frank Coonelly. Frank, nice start.
Nice start, Tim. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me. And Rock, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. This has been an awesome day so far. And we were talking earlier with Steve about the pregame festivities, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
It was moving, wasn't it? I was down on the field and had a chance to see the reaction of the players, and it was really very touching.
Carlos Lee flies to Brandon Moss. Hunter Pence will hit next.
When those bagpipes started, it was all I could do to keep things together.
Oh, I was in the same boat. I was talking to Tim and Steve about it. I mean, you're so happy for Steve, and that was all handled with class. And then the salute to the police officers was incredible. It was very touching.
Well, that was my only concern, that I knew that we would have a very somber moment. Then I wanted to make sure we could get back up again for Steve, and we certainly did that.
Pence a swinging strike, 0-1. Well, I asked Steve what time it was when he got up here, and he was happy to show me his new watch.
It's a beauty, isn't it?
Nice.
Just great to see not only Steve's high school coach, his family and friends here on the field and down at the ballpark.
There's a chopper down to third. Here's Vasquez gloving and throwing, and he just gets Hunter Pence.
But to see our players in particular, and also the Astro players all up on the rail watching the pregame ceremony, which, Rock, as you know, you typically don't see that, but all the players wanted to be there for Steve as well. and I think they really appreciated the honor that the club bestowed on Steve. And I'll tell you, that logo looks pretty good over there, doesn't it?
Yeah, awesome.
It's terrific.
We kind of missed our cue a little bit. We were panicking because I think that Bob was literally going on the air almost to the second that we were supposed to pull it open. And but we got it up, and that'll look good all year. I'm sure Steve will enjoy walking by on the field and seeing his image up there.
Zach Duke, the 0-1 pitch to Michaels.
Well, you did a nice job. I was on the field during the Pirates announcement to Guy Bazzelli Jr., which was also very moving to be there with his mom, Teresa, who I've met many times with Guy.
Michaels lines this one to left, just the second hit off Zach Duke today. Well, time to take a look at our play that made you smile, brought to you by our friends at Aspen Dental. And this is the play today. How about it? The Steve Blass unveiling of the sign. You had to smile. You saw the right-hander deliver to Manny Sanguillen.
Still came in there pretty well, didn't he?
Painted the corner.
High hard one.
Looking good.
Well, I was down there and I saw that the draping was moving over a little bit, and I was ready to call up to the booth and say, guys, the wind's blowing the draping over a little bit on you.
Somebody tipped us off. We did. We had to duct tape it up there because the Velcro wasn't holding. But everything looks great, too. I know the new surface and everything, and Manny Lopez and his crew is always doing a great job getting the field ready. And nice to have a packed house.
Sure is, and it's nice to see it coming together. I was here over the weekend, and we had terrific weather over the weekend, which you don't always have right before the home opener. And to see the guys out with the stencil, getting the opening week series banners on the field, and the Pirate P, putting the finishing touches on the ballpark was really neat to see.
1-1 pitch. Keppinger hits it fair down the line. Michaels will turn second and head for third. Niger Morgan playing the carom, going to third base. Then the second with a double is Jeff Keppinger. Second and third now with 2 out.
Oh, Niger, he got to that ball quickly. He comes up and throws to second. He has a chance of getting Keppinger at the very least. Making Keppinger stop between first and second. And Keppinger doesn't run all that well. And Zach Duke back-to-back hits after 2 outs here in the 7th. And he comes up throwing the third. But if he had a chance at Keppinger at second.
Case where if you throw behind the runner, you might have a chance at an out. The ball came off the wall, which juts out toward the foul line. A little bit strange. And again, the Pirates' first game here this year. One of the things that I saw Niger Morgan doing in St. Louis, they have a railing that goes out similar to that. And on the day before the opener, the Sunday, he was out working out with Tony Beasley, taking balls off of the wall and trying to play the carom at different angles. I'm sure he's worked on that here quite a bit too.
Sure. Another thing I wanted to ask you, Frank, is this auxiliary scoreboard with the radar gun, is that new this year where they show it, the speed of the gun or the pitch? Oh, we're not going to have time to talk about it.
Roberto Quintero grounds out.
I'm glad. The answer is yes.
All right, our score through 6.5 innings, 6-0 Pirates. Time for the Levin 7th inning stretch. Pittsburgh across the Clemente Bridge and into PNC Park. A look at the FSN suite as we welcome guests to PNC Park for opening day, enjoying a world-class view and celebrating Bucco baseball.
I was just down there. Nice people down in the FSN suite today.
They're all having a great time, I am sure. People like what they see today. And a little bit on the chilly side, more than we'll see normally, but Zach Duke's been hot. Got into a little bit of trouble, but got out of it. And Zach Duke has given up just 3 hits. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Frank Coonley, Pirates president, with us in the booth with John Wehner, Tim Neverett here.
John, to give you a little more time, yes, that's a new video board that was added this year, and the stat package is coming from an MLB program that's also on the website. So Eric Wolf and his staff upstairs can run a lot of really neat stuff on the new video board.
Yeah, that's pretty cool with it. You know, it tracks the pitches, amount of pitches, how many balls, how many strikes. It has the velocity from the pitcher's hand.
Vasquez bangs the first pitch from Wesley Wright into right field. This is the board that, the main board that we're looking at, that is a big part of the fan experience when you come to the ballpark. And then there are other boards along the side that will track the pitches.
Yeah, not only does it tell you the velocity from the release point at 40 feet and at the plate, but it also tells you how much the pitch moves from the pitcher's hand to the catcher's glove. It's a really cool feature.
Jack Wilson has a hit today and 3 plate appearances. He's 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
Boy, I happened to be down in the clubhouse this morning, and I ran into Jack in the players' lounge. There's the board, right, the board on top there, to the left of the Kennametal sign. That's the new video board. And anyway, when it was down in the clubhouse and ran into Jack in the players' lounge, and I said to Jack, "Did you see the ESPN top 10 plays of the day last night?" And I said, "Your double play had to be the winner." And he said, "No, I haven't seen it." And I said, "Well, neither did I." And then it turned to the TV that was on down there, and the TV had the plays of the top 10 plays of the day. And Jack's was number 6, the double play, and then the triple play was number 5. Now, to me, the double play had to be number 1. The triple play was so easy. I said, "Jack, that was too easy."
Into the air to right field. Hunter Pence.
Jack's Geico quote of the day was about how.
Well, here are those plays you were talking about, Frank. This, of course, was the one you liked and everybody else liked.
That's ridiculous.
How nice is that? And then if there is an easy triple play, this is it.
That was about as easy as they come.
That's what I was saying earlier. They didn't need gloves. They just rolled the ball around there. But that Jack said that, as far as he was concerned, as impressive a play as he's ever made. Just because it was a triple play, he's never really been associated with one.
You don't see those often.
Zach Duke pulls the bat back. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning. Pirates 6, Astros nothing. Now tomorrow is an off day, and you must have really known what you were doing when you were scheduling, because the weather's not going to be good tomorrow, but it will improve on Wednesday and Thursday, and by the weekend when the Braves are in here, it's going to be just terrific.
Yeah, we could not have scheduled any better, Tim. You're absolutely right. Tomorrow we'll let the rain come in, and then it's supposed to get warm in the 60s and sunny for the rest of the week. Braves coming in, and then of course the red hot Florida Marlins coming in after the Braves. So we've got some hot teams from the National League coming in to see us.
Duke pulls the bat back again. 2 balls and a strike. Zach Duke with a strong double to the wall in center field last time.
We were talking to Steve. We were talking about, like that day is coming, and it's getting closer and closer to where we see crowds like this regularly here. When this team, grows and we develop that young talent and put that product out there, and the fans are dying for winning baseball, and it's getting closer and closer. I hope maybe it's this year. I mean, I'm holding out hope, and it's quite possible. But these fans are going to come out, and this place packed is a beautiful sight.
You're absolutely right, Rock. It's great to see the ballpark packed, and I am convinced that things are going in the right direction. It is turning around, and I know that the fans want it very much, and they're really what motivate us every single day that we come in here. We're motivated to give the fans the winner that they deserve. They've obviously struggled with us and been frustrated with the way that we've played over a pretty extended period of time, but they motivate us every single day that we come to work, that giving this city a winner again in baseball will be a great thing.
You know, it's encouraging, too. Just on the road trip in St. Louis and in Cincinnati, we spotted a ton of Pirates fans in the stands wearing their Pirates gear. So not only are they in other cities, but they follow the team a little bit on the road.
I noticed that on the coverage. I saw several Bucco fans in each of the cities. It was nice.
Wesley Wright delivering to Niger Morgan. Takes a breaking ball for a strike.
I tell you, I went to the series last year against the Orioles, the interleague series against the Orioles, and there were a ton of Bucco fans down in Baltimore for that. And in Washington, D.C., also a ton.
They will travel.
Morgan, 1 for 4. Niger hitting at the top of the order. 2 for 3 yesterday, 3 for 4 on Saturday. He's had multi-hit games in all but 2 of his games so far.
You know, our Pittsburgh people, which I am one of them, we are negative by nature. So, you know, you'll hear negative comments about the Pirates, especially with the streak of losing or whatever. But they're negative about their Steelers when they lose, or the Penguins, or even Pitt with the run they have. And that's just our nature. We're negative. But they are dying for a winner. There are some great Pirate fans out there that are dying to buy tickets and come to the ballpark, and they will come once we begin to win again.
You're right, Brock. I have. You're not right about the negative. That's you saying that. You're from Pittsburgh. You can say that. But they are dying for a winner, and obviously they support their sports teams, both professional and college, as well as any city in the country, if not better than any city. We talk about our fans and the way we travel. Of course, the Steelers fans are legendary for the way that they travel.
And Morgan strikes out.
Yeah, I guess I should have said. I should have said. You know, some of us are negative by name. Not all of us, but there are. You know,
that one is.
We like this guy. I'm one of the negative guys. I mean, there's nothing better than hanging out with your buddies and arguing about whatever, and you know, good or bad. And, you know, in every sport, it's the Pirates. I guarantee you, they will come in flocks.
In large part, Pittsburgh was spoiled there for a long time. In the 1970s, when the Pirates were winning 2 World Series championships, the Steelers were winning 4 of their Super Bowl championships in the 70s. Pitt won a national championship in football. You guys were spoiled. In Philadelphia, where I grew up, you know, we had 1 World Series title in 1980, and then finally another championship they got this year after it had been since 1982, and the Sixers won the NBA title since they had another crown. So you guys were spoiled there for a while, but we're looking forward to spoiling the fans of Pittsburgh again by adding a World Championship baseball team to the World Championship Steelers.
Freddie Sanchez at the plate, 2 down, bottom of inning number 7. He's got a 1-ball, no strike count. Facing the left-hander Wesley Wright. 2 men aboard.
Certainly the sad news you've heard about Harry Kalas.
No, I did not. He passed away?
Passed away today.
Oh, my Lord.
Sorry to...
I've been out in among the crowd. I was in the all-you-can-eat seats and then the left field Looney seats. Boy, I'm sorry to hear that. I grew up in Philadelphia, and there was nothing like listening to Harry and Richie Ashburn, of course, who passed away, I think, back in 1997. Yeah. Boy, great voice of the game, and I just was down when the Phillies were in town in Bradenton talking to Dave Montgomery, a good friend of mine, president of the Phillies. Asked him how Harry was doing. He said he was fine.
Sanchez lifts this one deep to right center field. This ball is going back, and this ball is caught right in front of the wall by Hunter Pence, and that'll end the Pirate threat in the 7th. Frank, always great to visit with you, and hopefully we can do it often with crowds like this and games like this.
Tim, always my pleasure to be here with you and Rock. Thanks so much for having me.
Bring you back inside PNC Park. Out of the top of the 8th inning. 2009 Pirates baseball on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines has low fares with no hidden fees. Book now on Southwest.com, where what you see is what you pay. Zach Duke will face Ivan Rodriguez. Bud Rodriguez, who made the team as a late ad out of the World Baseball Classic, had a good classic and didn't have a job up until that point. Houston needed a catcher, so he became the regular catcher late in spring training. He's not starting today. Humberto Quintero is the starter.
Well, he's one of the best, one of the greatest of all time behind the plate. And, you know, best years are behind him, but still productive. He can still catch and throw. Still has power. Still in great shape.
So he is hitting in the 9 spot for right. Blum went over to third base, and now Keppinger is the second baseman. Kaz Matsui has been lifted as part of the switches. There's Ramon Vasquez. And Rodriguez to shallow right down the line, and that one is going to drop foul. Bud Rodriguez has had some big hits in his career.
No question. And dropped one in there, and just the longevity, and you know, arguably one of the better, maybe the best defensive catcher of all time. I mean, talk about a guy that can catch and throw, and I mean, it's something that could be argued. And I know the people from Cincinnati will say that nobody was ever better than Johnny Bench, or ever will be better than Johnny Bench, but certainly Pudge has had a storied career and still hanging on, and I'm sure he's happy to be in Houston, and Houston happy to have him.
Well, Pudge Rodriguez at the plate, 0-2, and Duke gets him to foul it back. Zach Duke starting the 8th inning of work. Duke in his 100th career start today, 101st appearance in the major leagues. Some double barrel action going on in the Pittsburgh bullpen. Runs in the dirt, 73 miles an hour, off speed pitch, 1-2 to Rodriguez.
Yeah, old Pudge, by the end of the year, he could be first all time in games caught. He's only behind Bob Boone and Carlton Fisk.
Takes outside, waves at it. They appeal down to first, and James Hoyt says no, he didn't go.
Fisk leads with 2,226. Boone 2,225. Pudge 2,178.
John Grabo and Tyler Yates warming up. Long run for McLeod, and he hauls it in for the out. Nate McLeod tracks that one down off the bat of Ivan Rodriguez. Now Jeff Blum will hit. Blum inserted into the order in the number 1 spot for Kaz Matsui. Blum has hit safely in 4 of his 5 starts. Swings at the first offering and skies it to shallow center. Sanchez is out, makes way for McLeod. Will make the catch, and quickly there are 2 away. Create your own Pirates collectible using your favorite photos at the photo store on Pirates.com. It's easy. Just upload your photo, choose from prints, mugs, magnets, and more. Place your order, and you're done. In 3 easy steps, you can make your very own Pirates memory. Go to Pirates.com today. We're at the photo store. A lot of Shutterbugs here today, chronicling the opening day game. And Miguel Tejada at the plate. He takes a strike.
Another outstanding outing by a Pirates starting pitcher.
And this time, Tejada lines this one into left center field. So he's got 2 hits. 2 for 4 for Tejada. And most of the base runners that have been on, with the exception of Tejada in the first inning, have all come with 2 outs. A 2-out walk was issued in the second to Keppinger. 2-out walk to Pence in the 4th. And then a couple of 2-out hits in the 7th by Michaels and Keppinger. And now with 2 outs, Tejada's aboard.
7th start for the Pirates, 6 quality starts.
Strike call. Lance Berkman, first baseman, switch hitter, batting right-handed against the lefty Zach Duke. Strike 2. A word on the starter for Houston, Brian Moeller. He left the game after 2 1/3 innings. We're just now coming up from the Houston clubhouse. He has a sprained right knee.
Imagine it would be hard to pitch with a sprained knee.
The 0-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. And Zach Duke is through 8. And the Astros still with a goose egg on the board as Duke throws that one low and fools Lance Berkman. Tim Neverett, bottom of the 8th inning, 6-0. Pirates in front, bottom of the 8th inning. And a new right-hander is on for the Astros. Tell you about him in a moment, but how about the Pirates left-hander, Zach Duke? That ball just fell off the table, dove down, and diving after it was Lance Berkman. And Zach Duke through 8 innings. And some accolades in the dugout from his teammates.
Wondering if those are high fives, just way to go, or is that high fives like, you know, you're done for the day? I'm hoping to see Zach. He's just over the 100 pitch mark. I'd like to see him get an opportunity to close this thing out. No one currently up in the Pirates bullpen, so hopefully Zach pick up the complete game. Here it's 108 pitches for Zach.
Jeff Geary. Right now, not much going on in the bullpen. Zach Duke has pitched 3 complete games in his career, and it appears as though he'll attempt another one. So bottom of the 8th, leading it off for the Pirates, Nate McLouth. He has a hit and 3 trip plus a walk. And McLouth takes a strike. So far so good. Opening day 2009. Pirates came off the road trip 3-3 against St. Louis and Cincinnati. And McLouth skies this one fouling out of play. Long homestand here. Plenty of opportunities to see the Pirates back in action Wednesday night. Game 2 of this series after an off day tomorrow. And then the Braves come in on the weekend, followed by the Florida Marlins before the Pirates will head out on the road again to San Diego and to Milwaukee. Pitch to McLeod from Geary in the dirt.
Jeff Geary, one time in the Philly organization. Fastball, got a pretty good curveball. Has done well since coming over to the Houston Astros. One of their better right-handed pitchers out of the pen.
1-2 to McLeod. And a ground ball to second base. And Nate McLeod is out. Here comes Ryan Doman, and on Saturday it's a return to Saturday afternoon baseball at PNC Park when the Pirates will be hosting those Atlanta Braves. Look at me. I mean, really, look at me. All fans at the game will receive a Ryan Doman bobblehead, sponsored by Trip Total Media. To get your tickets today for this 12:35 matinee game, call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or visit Pirates.com. You notice he's always shaking his head yes?
Oh, yeah.
On that bobblehead?
Yeah, Ryan, I obviously couldn't hear what he was saying, but you know what he was saying. We look good, don't we? We look good, don't we?
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
The Geary's 1-0 delivery. Strike call in the corner, 1-1. For 4, hitting .214, has driven in 7. Infield playing back. The 1-1 pitch, and Doman hits this one high and deep to right field. This ball is gone. Home run, Ryan Doman. Nothing Pirates, and for Doman, his second home run of the year, RBI number 8.
Get out and hook it. Doman taking advantage of the short porch in right field. A pitch it's down and away from him. He just gets down and hooks it just over the Clemente wall and right. Can they go back to back again?
They did Saturday in Cincinnati. LaRoche takes a strike, 0-1. 2 for 3 for Adam today with a home run. He also walked. And he hits one deep to left field. Lee on the run. This ball is back. It's off the wall. Around first and cruising into second base with a double. Adam LaRoche's 3rd hit of the game. First double of the season for LaRoche.
Got to feel good for Adam LaRoche, too. And, he's pretty much unflappable. He doesn't get too high or too low, but he's heard all the stories and the April stuff. And there you see inside the ball, driving it out to left. And we got a bit of a breeze coming in from left. That's a strong guy that can hit a ball 380 feet the opposite way into the wind on a cold day. But that 3 hits today, I'm sure, feels really good for Adam.
Sellout crowd, pretty loud right now. 38,411, the 3rd largest crowd for a home opener at PNC Park, the 10th largest crowd ever at PNC Park. I think they like what they see.
Oh, yeah. What a great day. Perfect.
Moss fouls it off.
I guess the only thing that would have made it any better is if it was about 75. Great day for Zach Duke. See if he gets a chance to finish things off.
Pitch on the way, and Moss hits this one deep to center. This one is carrying well. This ball is caught at the wall by Jason Michaels. And Adam LaRoche back to second base.
Brandon Moss, and he's got some pop. I don't think he got all of it. If he got all of it, it's a home run. I think he got a little bit off the end. And I don't care what the conditions are. If Brandon Moss hits a ball squarely and he gets it up in the air, it's going to be a home run. I think it just got off the end of the bat enough. He's still looking for his first RBI is Brandon Moss.
We'll have to wait a little bit. Ramon Vasquez also looking for an RBI. Had a single in the 7th inning. 1 for 3 with a walk. Vasquez, a veteran infielder. Left-handed bat in the lineup today. Randy LaRoche struggling a bit at the plate, 0 for 14 to start the season. And right now, Joe Kerrigan visiting with Ryan Domit, talking about the hitters coming up in the top of the 9th inning. What else do you think they're discussing?
Probably it. They're probably talking about who's coming up and
And LaRoche is going to be gunned down at third, trying to take it on a ball that got away from the Houston catcher, Zach Duke, taking his jacket off. And he will come out and start the 9th, looking for a complete game. 7-0 Pirates. Four hits today. The last time Zach Duke was in this spot, September 5th of last season in San Francisco against the Giants. He managed to mow him down all the way through 9. 5-2-3 double play to end it. He's got that ball, important ball to keep. And he faced Carlos Lee along with Hunter Pence and Jason Michaels in the top of the 9th inning for Houston. Capps is loosening in the bullpen just in case.
Zach with 3 career complete games, looking for his 4th. Well, what a great start though for Zach Duke, coming off a season in which he lost 14 games.
Ground ball to short. Jack Wilson up with it. There's one down. The last time a complete game shutout was pitched on a home opener, you have to go all the way back to 1978, April 7th, when John Candelaria twirled a 7-hitter against the Chicago Cubs.
Candyman.
Zach Duke 2 outs away from matching John Candelaria. And Pence pounds that foul at the plate. 0-1. On Wednesday night, Mike Hampton will go to the mound for Houston against Ross Ohlendorf. Ohlendorf looked good last Thursday in St. Louis.
Sure, he's chomping at the bit. Can't wait to get back out there. Show the Pirates fans what he has.
0-1 pitch, popped up foul and out of play. Gonna make the second deck.
Seeing that Zach Duke could get an extra day of rest too. I mean, as far as the pitch count getting up there this early in the year, I'm sure he's plenty stretched out, but with the day off tomorrow.
0-2 pitch. This is on the ground to Freddie Sanchez. And the Pirates are 1 out away on opening day. And when you hear almost 40,000 people chanting your name, that's got to be something special.
He wants to finish it off right here. Come on, Dookie.
Former Pirate Jason Michaels at the plate, and he swings and misses. One ball and 1 strike now to Michaels. Michaels had a base hit in the 7th, the only time the Astros could put together back-to-back hits. Keppinger would follow Michaels' single with a double. And now the Pirates are 1 strike away from winning on opening day, and Zach Duke has had himself a tremendous day. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Home runs today by LaRoche and Doman.
Jason Michaels trying to prolong it. Fans are annoyed by the foul balls. They want to see Zach wrap it up.
To Wilson. Ball game. And the Pirates win on opening day. Zach Duke, a complete game shutout. 7-0 the final score. A 4-hitter by Zach Duke.
That's the way opening day is supposed to be. You honor a legend like Steve Blass. You come out here and all these fans are revved up and they're looking forward to a new season. You come out right off the bat, you get on the board, you get great